How's it going, guys? Nathaniel R here. Hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day. In today's video, we get to see something that's super exciting that you can go and play right now in New World. So without further delay, let's get on over and check it out. All right, now let's check it out and see what they've done. So if you didn't know, they have a PTR, like the test realms that you can do in New World, so you can try out some of the future content that is coming out. And just today's the 6th, they have just released their new January test realms that you can feature or try some of the new content that's going to be coming out for New World, which is super exciting. And I've already read through it. And honestly, I'm super hyped. This actually looks really cool. So we're to jump right down. We're to scroll all the way past this. And this is what I'm really excited for. Expedition modifiers, mutators. So for me personally, I had a huge blast playing with my friends, playing all of the different expeditions and stuff like that. And for me personally, as more of a PvE focused player, I love this. This gives me a huge drive to want to play like games and stuff like that again, because for me personally, I was so dead, I didn't want to play it or anything like that. But this is super exciting, and it's bringing something that I personally enjoy and then just changing it up so that I have more reason to play the expeditions again. So we're gonna read it. With this PTR release, we are introducing a new endgame feature: expedition mutators. Mutators change the familiar by augmenting normal and named enemies found within expeditions, changing the way encounters play out and what strategies players should consider before battle. And as combat changes, so do the rewards. New bespoke gear and resources can be found, providing additional means to increase your level. This system is intended to rotate through a unique combination of expeditions and mutations each week, with 10 difficulty levels per expedition mutation. Players will be challenged to climb the ladder with the aim of eventually reaching the max difficulty. However, during this PTR cycle, these rotations will be placed on an accelerated schedule so that everyone will get a chance to play a variety of mutations on several endgame expeditions. So that's kind of cool. So like in the idea that you'll be able to play it, and from what it sounds like, you'll start off, say, you're playing at the easiest one, and as you beat it, then the next time you play it again, then it'll raise the difficulty, so you have a chance to, it gives you kind of this idea of repetition, so you can go up and get to the best gear loot or whatever. And so, especially for all those people who just went and go and farm chests and different things like that, I think this will be really interesting and give you something a little bit different to do, especially if you're still enjoying the New World experience. This will be really cool. So definitely interesting. Please be advised that recommended gear score levels for a mutated expedition is important, as it directly factors into enemy scaling, and by consequence, your chances of success. Please note this combat scaling is individual per player and separate from the base difficulty increases in health and damage. We expect higher difficulties to be extremely difficult, and so we will be very interested in group outcomes and scores, especially from those who consider themselves highly competitive or highly skilled. So for those players who want to show off their PvP or PvE skills and just say, I'm the best, I got the score, you can actually, I think this will be kind of cool. It gives that competitive motion, where look at, I got this score, take a screenshot, share it on Twitter and stuff like that, or to show your friends or to compare with people that you play with and your guilds and stuff like that. I think that's really cool. So I love that aspect of that. Okay, so entering a mutated expedition. On the PTR, all players will be issued a generous sum of keys to run expeditions. Upon approaching and interacting with expedition menus, players will be able to see the type of mutator available, the mutation level, gear score recommended to advance, and lastly, if they meet the qualifications for entry. Scoring and advancement. Score is performance-based, taken from a combination of categories. Score is also a shared value for group members. The following categories count toward this group's overall score value: So these are the things that are actually going to show your score and what you've done. So the better the score calculated at the end of the run. Makes sense? AI kills. A target value for killing a predetermined amount of enemies within the expedition. So basically, if you skip one because you're trying to speed run, you can try and factor in if you want to try and kill few, but go as fast as you can. I don't know how the point system or how many points you get for each one, but it kind of gives you a different idea. It's like if I want to get a high score, maybe if I run faster and I have a lower time, I get more points as opposed to just killing guys. So I think that's kind of cool. Takedowns, a target value for killing named enemies within the expedition. Team wipes. Each team wiped during a boss fight reduces the score by a significant amount. So that's interesting. So you want to make sure that, your team is, working with each other and talking with each other and making sure that you're, not dying. Respawn. So each player reduces the score by a moderate amount. So if you're me and you accidentally fall off something or get destroyed by a laser, that affects your team. And so that's another thought too, is that you're like, okay, I don't want to, lose our points. So we have to completely restart the expedition, which could be, you lost a key to do it, but you're going for a higher score. So that's interesting. There are also bonus multipliers for run efficiency, minimal respawning, wiping, speed, and taking down all targets. These are calculated at the end of the expedition run. The score ranks are bronze, silver, and gold. Advancement through each mutator difficulty level requires each and reaching a predesignated level of proficiency within the highest achieved level. Higher scores mean by advancement to higher difficulties, which is in turn led to bigger rewards. So I'm actually really interested in seeing kind of what rewards you can get, especially if it's something like, if I want to get the best out of it, like in Destiny, where I had the ability to do, I forgot what it's called, but you can go and play the revised version that gives you better loot, so you can get some of the best stuff that you can get, at least PvE wise in the game. And so if they're doing stuff like that, I think that's super cool, especially for me, because it's like, okay, I want to grind keys, so I could do this instead of just running and grabbing chests and stuff like that. It makes things a little bit more interesting for me personally. All right, now the expedition mutators schedules. During the duration, let's fix that. During the duration of the PTR test cycle, one of the following expeditions will be mutated every 48 hours. Dynasty Shipyard, Guardian of Genesis, Lazarus. We're going to skip that one because I have a hard time and I stutter and I can't say the word correctly, so we're just not going to do it. Furthermore, we feel that the following scheduling mechanics are also worth spotlighting. The difficulty level for each mutated expedition is tracked separately and will persist across the mutation cycle. There are a total of 8 different mutation combinations that will be randomly cycled alongside the 48-hour expedition rotation. The expedition interact menu will display the current mutation available. Expedition changes. Interesting. I love that. I'm all about changes in it, just because it keeps it fresh, keeps it interesting, it makes me want to go back and play it. Within the release of the expedition mutators, we've made some balance changes and updates to existing content. We've made expeditions more enticing by updating rewards and drop rates, bringing them in line with other endgame activities. Finally, it just felt like the expeditions and stuff like that weren't necessarily worth it to me. It was fun to do it and play with friends and to troll people, but when it came down to actually worth, you got some cool looking stuff, but I always threw it away. So it's the fact that they're going to be updating it so that they could possibly be worth it. All for it, 100%. Drop rates for named enemies in expeditions have been significantly increased. Let's go. Tier 5 gear has been added to Dynasty Shipyard loot tables when playing in the mutated expedition. We also adjusted certain enemy counts. Lazarus, I can't say that word, reduced the number of enemies when sealing the ancient Azoth portals in the Ostium. There's a lot of really cool stuff there. Definitely really excited to see the different changes that they're bringing in. I personally am very excited as someone who enjoyed, I think, the expeditions more than pretty much anything else. I'm really, really excited for that. I don't do PvP at all. It's just not something I enjoy in this game. So something that can change up stuff for us PvE players who are mostly focused on that, I'm very, very excited about. I think it's cool that they're doing something a little bit different to the expeditions, because the expeditions are a blast. And I'm super, super excited to see how it plays out. So if you are able to, and you have the PTR installed on Steam, you can go and try it out now. Or, you know, you could try to get in. There'll most likely be a queue, but hopefully you can get in and try it out. And, you know, let me know what you think. Definitely comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and stuff like that, and see what you guys personally think. You're like, oh, yeah, this is great. Or you're like, no, this is trash. I don't want to play this game. You know, it's okay. Whatever. So I'd definitely love to chat with you guys. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully this is informative and you learned something new. And if you didn't know this was even coming, like I didn't know, I just saw the tweet and I'm like, heck yeah. So it's great news, you know, like I'm really, really excited. But anyways, guys, I really appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Peace.